We're about to learn some things about BYU's matchup with Valparaiso tomorrow night in the NIT Final Four with assistant coach Roger Powell of the Crusaders. He joins us on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline. Roger, welcome to BYU Sports Nation.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So by the time Valpo tips off against BYU tomorrow, your team will be one of 16 Division I teams still playing basketball at this point in the season. What kind of value do you place in playing in late March?
You know, it's a blessing. Our team has gone through a long season, and it's been fun. It's been some ups and downs. Obviously, not getting to the NCAA tournament was a bummer, but playing at Madison Square Garden in the NIT semifinals is just as good in our eyes. So we're excited.
Initially in the NIT, I always wonder, what's the motivation of each team to be there? St. Bonaventure, a 1 seed goes down, to Wagner, whatever. You just wonder. But how did Valparaiso get over the disappointment of not making the NCAA tournament to make this run in the NIT?
We've been preaching all along to our guys that our vision is about just giving the best that we can, and whenever there's life, whenever there's games to be played, we want to give our best, and that hasn't changed for us. And I think that's the reason, we've been able to, make it this far so far in our season.
Roger Powell, assistant coach for the Valparaiso Crusaders, with us on BYU Sports Nation. Interestingly enough, the Horizon League has 2 of the top 10 scoring teams in the country. Number 1 in Oakland, and Green Bay is at number 9. BYU's number 6 in that same list. So do you feel that much more prepared for a team like BYU because you've seen these fast-paced offenses multiple times?
Dave Rose has done a great job, with BYU. I mean, they're definitely a tournament team, been to tournament numerous years. They've actually played in the semifinals before. So they're well seasoned and they're prepared. They're ready for this game. They're definitely a different team. I think they have a lot of size inside, and then their 3 guards. Oh man, those guys are guys that I'm losing sleep over to prepare for the game. So, it's playing against some offensive teams. I think it's helped us, but BYU plays so fast, and they make shots that other teams can't make, and it's going to be a tough matchup. But we're ready for the challenge.
Roger, yet your team is top 10 in scoring defense, 9th in the country at 62 a game. What do you guys do so well defensively?
I think the most important thing is, we have length. Obviously, Bashil has been a huge factor for us. Defensive Player of the Year two times in the Horizon League, and and we play hard. We work a lot on our defense and just our principles, and we try to stick to it. And it's been paying off so far.
I'm glad you brought up Vashil Fernandez, the nation's top shot blocker. But this guy's currently working. We learned this morning he's currently working on a second master's degree. What's more impressive, leading the nation in block shots, or the fact that he's trying to get a second master's?
Vashil has been an amazing player, student athlete for our university. And, he's bright too, man. We like to call him the president or the most important person on campus. And so it's a testimony to, how hard he's worked and just his humility and who he is as a young man. He's going to be extremely successful after playing basketball.
Tell us a little bit about some of the other stars on this team. Alec Peters at 18 a game, Keith Carter, Darian Walker. Who are some of the studs on this team, and what do they do?
One of the things about our team is, we have a lot of guys who are unselfish, and obviously Alec Peters is a dynamic scorer. He scores inside, outside. He's definitely a tough matchup for other teams. But, we have other guys that can step up and make plays any day. Keith Carter has been amazing for us at the point guard position with his defense and, controlling our offense. And, Shane Hammock has been in the starting lineup, out of the starting lineup, but he's had some big moments for us and made some great athletic plays. And then, all season we haven't really had our whole roster. We've had a starter out pretty much the majority of the year, and Tavon Walker, who's not starting for us now, coming back off of injury, but he's a really, really good sophomore guard. And David Scar is a sophomore who's been out of late, and 6'7" guy that can play the 2 through 4. So we have a lot of weapons, but it's fun to finally have those guys, playing all together. That's been exciting for us now in the postseason.
Roger, you've played big-time basketball in big-time venues in March at the University of Illinois. So with that experience, what are you saying to your guys about Hey, Madison Square Garden, New York City, NIT Final Four. What advice are you giving those guys?
I think the biggest thing, when you play this late in March, whether it's the NCAA tournament or the NIT, is, you've gone through the season, and you've had ups and downs. You've seen so many different, defenses, so many different offenses. We practiced so many different times. Now it's a matter of just having fun, enjoying the experience, and giving your all. This moment, this experience, you can't get back. So we want our guys to enjoy it and have no regrets.
Roger, do you get to have any fun there? You got Springsteen at Madison Square Garden tonight. You got Iron Maiden Wednesday. You got Hamilton, super hot there. You get to go to any of that, man?
Yeah, it's, unfortunately, no. We still have work to do. Season's not done yet, but definitely, hopefully we can win. It's gonna be a tough battle, and whatever happens, we're proud of our guys, and hopefully we keep playing and we can have some fun. Friday or Thursday night, but either way, we're going to wait till we're done with games to experience New York to the fullest.
You beat one of BYU's fierce rivals, St. Mary's, in the quarterfinals to get to New York. Did playing against St. Mary's in the West Coast Conference in any way give you an advantage going into playing BYU?
They're totally different teams. I think St. Mary's, they're a team that wants to run their offense and score late in the shot clock. BYU, they're a team that wants to, score early and get out in transition. So I think they're total different teams. But I think it definitely may have prepared us for the style of play of the conference. So we'll see how much it helped us after tomorrow night.
Kyle Collinsworth always presents an interesting challenge for opposing teams because he's so versatile offensively, defensively, rebounding the ball, distributing, a 6'6" point guard. How do you hope to defend Kyle Collinsworth tomorrow?
Oh, man, we're going to try our best. He does so many things. Triple doubles, passing, creating for others, scoring on the post. It's going to be a tough matchup. But hopefully with our length and with our defense, we can limit him. But he's a special player, and those type of guys, you want to just have them, have an off night. You can't stop them fully, but if they can have an off night, and it can give you a chance to be successful. But not only him, Emery and Fisher, those guys are dynamic scorers. Dynamic. So, we're going to have our hands. We're going to have a tough time, defending those three guards.
Roger, I wish you a very calm and peaceful night's worth of sleep, and that you don't worry about Kyle Collinsworth and those guys too much.
Well, thank you. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to help, man. It's going to be a fun night preparing, and we were already prepared, so it's just a matter of just making sure our guys have energy and they come out and they execute.
Hey, Roger, enjoy New York. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you so much.